Hi guys, today let us take up another important chapter or area in neural coordination. The human brain, structure and function of the human brain. So I have classified everything for the NEET point of view. The structure of brain and the function of each structure I have classified and I have tabulated, and I will explain. So brain is one of the organs of central nervous system, and it is the big boss of our human body. It is the boss of our all organs. It controls all other organs of the body. If you take the structure of human brain, it has got three parts: forebrain or prosencephalon, midbrain or mesencephalon, and hindbrain or rhombencephalon. So you can see the diagram here, diagram of LS of brain. This is the thalamus. This portion is the thalamus. Behind that you get hypothalamus. In between that thalamus and hypothalamus, you get the limbic system, and then diencephalon. These four organs comprise the forebrain. Then coming to midbrain, you can see the blue structures, corpora quadrigemina. There are four calculi, two superior and two inferior calculi. Corpora quadrigemina constitute the midbrain, and below that you get cerebellum, pons varolii and medulla oblongata. These three constitute the hindbrain. So now let us take up the functions of each one. First you can take up the forebrain or prosencephalon. It can be majorly divided into cerebrum and diencephalon. Cerebrum and diencephalon. Let us take up first diencephalon. The diencephalon consists of four parts: thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus, and the limbic system. First, thalamus. Let us take the thalamus. What is the function of the thalamus? It is the relay center. So when you, for example, if you go to a hotel, there will be a receptionist. She will ask you a question and she will pass on the message to the boss, and she will get the reply to you. Likewise, this thalamus is the receptionist in our body. It is a relay center. Actually, it transfers relay informations to and fro. It is responsible for memory and communication. It coordinates important point sensory and motor functions. Like the relay, it's a relay center. It acts as a relay center and it coordinates the sensory and motor functions mainly. Besides that, thalamus is responsible for the memory and communication. Then, next part is the epithalamus. It is a pineal body of the brain. Next, hypothalamus. So, another important part of the forebrain or prosencephalon. It functions mainly as a homeostatic control center. It controls the homeostatic process of our body. It is the biological clock. It's also otherwise called as the biological clock, since it regulates the biological activity of the human body. Third point, hypothalamus is responsible for maintaining our body temperature. That is 98.4 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degree Celsius is our normal body temperature. That body temperature is maintained by the hypothalamus. For our urge for eating and drinking is also responsible. Hypothalamus is responsible for urge to eat and drink. Another important point, hypothalamus hormone secretes some hormones which control the pituitary, the main ductless gland. So hypothalamus hormones control the pituitary hormones. So I repeat, hypothalamus acts as the homeostatic control center. It's a biological clock responsible for body temperature. It is responsible for the urge for eating and drinking. And hypothalamus secretes some hormones which control pituitary. Then coming to limbic system, it is specifically given in your NCERT book, limbic system. That constitutes 4 parts: hippocampus, amygdala, septal nuclei, and mammalian bodies. These 4 things you must remember because it is given in your NCERT book. So limbic system is a very important system for what is the function for sexual behavior and sexual motivation. This limbic system is responsible, and also it is responsible for the emotional reactions, excitation, pleasure, fear. For these emotional reactions, this limbic system is very important. So these 4 constitute the Diencephalon. So specifically limbic system, it is given in your NCERT book, so kindly take care of that limbic system. Consists of hippocampus, amygdala, septal nuclei, and mammalian bodies. Functions are given. Then second part of the forebrain is the cerebrum. Consists of 2 parts, cerebral cortex. It is divided into 2 parts and divided into 4 lobes: occipital lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and parietal lobe. The occipital lobe, what is the function? Vision and color. Eyesight is responsible for eyesight, occipital lobe. Parietal lobe is responsible for our knowledge, knowing and reading. Temporal lobe is responsible for the language efficiency. Parietal lobe for movement of the body, for thinking and speaking. So these 3 functions are by the parietal lobe. So you must remember, you must know the functions of these lobes of the cerebrum, cerebral hemispheres. So we have finished forebrain or prosencephalon. Next we come to the midbrain or the corpora quadrigemina. It consists of 4 loculi, 2 inferior loculi and 2 superior loculi. Inferior loculi, 2 inferior loculi are responsible for the auditory functions, and 2 superior calculi are responsible for your visual functions. You must know, it's very important. And then finally we are coming to the last part of the brain, hindbrain, the rhombencephalon. This hindbrain consists of medulla oblongata, pons, and cerebellum. What are the functions of medulla oblongata? So medulla oblongata is the center for respiration. So medulla oblongata is responsible for our respiration, for our cardiovascular reflexes, for our heart activities, and also for gastric secretion. For digestive purposes, it also controls the digestive tract. It controls breathing, circulation, and swallowing of food. So these are all the main functions of the medulla oblongata: respiration, cardiovascular reflexes, digestion, breathing, circulation, and swallowing. This is about the medulla oblongata. And then pons. Second part is the pons varoli, very important. This is the control for breathing, very important. Our respiration is controlled by the pons. The breathing centers are present in the pons varoli, so it controls breathing. It's very important. Cerebellum, third part of the hindbrain, cerebellum, It controls the motor responses for our activities of hand, legs, etc. for motor activation. Number 2, for our posture of our body and balance. So it maintains our balance and posture of our body. So if the cerebellum is affected, we cannot stand in a right posture. If we take some toxic things like alcohol, etc., we cannot walk properly because our cerebellum is affected. So it controls coordination. And then it is responsible for our posture and balance of our body, and then it controls our motor responses. So these are all about the human brain, the structure and functions. I have clarified everything. So for the NEET, if you study these points for the brain structure and function, it will be more than enough. So you can see the diagram once again. A thalamus is the part, hypothalamus, limbic system, Diencephalon constitute forebrain, and then corpora quadrigemina, the midbrain, and then cerebellum, pons feroli, and medulla oblongata, hindbrain. Thank you very much.